Good morning, guys. Once again, happy to see you all. Hope you are doing good and well. Today, we are going to learn 2.2. You Start Dying Slowly by Pablo Neruda. Pablo Neruda is not his real name, it is pen name. As we have one poet in Marathi, कुसुमाग्रज, त्यांचं ओरिजिनल जे नाव आहे काय बरोबर, त्यांचं ओरिजिनल नाव शिरवाडकर, वसंत विष्णू शिरवाडकर असं काहीतरी आहे. दॅट द सेम वे पाब्लो नेरुडा. Neruda, somebody says Neruda, somebody says some different, I don't know what is the pronunciation exactly, but that is the pen name of the poet. And today we are going to learn You Start Dying Slowly. Before starting our poem, I just wanted to tell you something. Just close your eyes for a moment and think what things in your life make you happy and what things make you in your life sad. Just for the second, don't write, just think, that's okay. Alright, before starting our poem, I would like to tell you one thing. There is one proverb: a bad workman blames his tools. त्याला आपण मराठीमध्ये नाचता येत नाही पण अंगण वाकळ असं काहीतरी बोलतो. So in English, a bad workman blames his tools. That is the proverb. And what will you do? You will write an expansion of idea in 18 lines. First, the meaning. I will tell you a little bit about the meaning. A man who does not get success due to the lackness of skill and blames his failure to the other people or other things. That is the meaning. Okay. So you will write 18 lines. First 4-5 lines you will give the meaning of the proverbs. What does the proverb stand for? Second, give one example, best example about or related to the proverb, and then conclusion in 6 to 7 lines. So this is all about your proverbs, that is expansion of an idea. Coming downside, I have already recommended you in earlier periods a book, Jonathan Livingston Seagull, which you have to read after 10th standard. Today I am going to recommend you to watch a movie. Not now, after 10th standard. And the name of movie is In the Pursuit of Happiness. One of the best ever movie. And I request you, when you will finish your 10th standard, when you will give you the last paper of the 10th standard, please watch this movie with your all family. And this movie is available in English and Hindi too. It's okay. This is all about your recommendation. Coming to the point again. Today we are going to learn 2.2 poem. You Start Dying Slowly. So I thought little bit difficult words which we have in stanza. So stanza wise I have written on a board. The very first stanza we have Sounds of Life, that word, which stands for the move of life. There are so many different moves in life. In Marathi generally that word is used for अंतरात्मा. अंतरात्म्याचा आवाज किंवा जीवनाचे वेगवेगळे टर्न्स अशा अर्थाने तो साउंड्स ऑफ लाईफ वापरलेला आहे. In detail we are gonna see that when we will take the poem. Appreciate, already we have taken that word in previous lesson, but today is also. So in first stanza appreciate word again came. Similar meaning in English, praise, तारीफ करणे, प्रशंसा करणे, कौतुक करणे ह्या अर्थाने त्याचा उपयोग झालेला आहे. If we come in second stanza, we have a self-esteem, only one word. What does it mean? Each word stands for so deep in the meaning, because the poem You Start Dying Slowly is not a motivational poem. It is not only the motivational but also mystic or theosophical poem. Every word has a very different shades and meanings. So slowly we will try to unveil all of them. Self-esteem, self-respect, स्वतःचा आदर, स्वतःचा सन्मान या अर्थाने तो शब्द वापरलेला आहे. Stanza third, we have two words. Slave. One word is used, slave. Here in poem, slave means a person who is not of his own. His own owner, his owner is of someone else in a definition. But here in the poem, that word is a prisoner. कैदी किंवा गुलाम, एखाद्या गोष्टीचा किंवा सवयीचा गुलाम ह्या अर्थाने तो वापरलेला आहे. Alright, we have another one, routine. 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 Routineचा जनरली अर्थ असतो हॅबिच्युअल ॲक्शन्स, म्हणजे दैनंदिन जीवनामध्ये रोज त्याच गोष्टी आपण करत असतो, त्याला रुटीन असं म्हणतो. दिनक्रम, ठरलेला दिनक्रम. Then stanza number 4, we have one word, turbulent. Turbulent emotions means burning desires. Turbulence means burning एकदम ज्वलंत इच्छा, that will never let you sit quiet. Stanza 5, we have two words. One word is one of them is uncertain. Uncertain चा अर्थ होईल इथे पोएम मध्ये not fixed means not confirmed, अनिश्चित असा. सेकंड वर्ड आहे सेन्सिबल, त्याचं मीनिंग त्यांनी दिलेलं आहे पुस्तकामध्ये. वाइज, and that means is शहाणा. So these all are the difficult words. Stanza wise I have written. If I will come across the stanza and you feel that word is quite obscure to understand, so you can have a quick look on a board. All right, what does it means? What does poet want to say you? What is the poem about? The poem is about how to live life that can make your life happy and you will be satisfied with your all things. What should you do or what should you not? What you have to accept, what you have to receive in life, and what will you avoid? The same poem we had learned earlier, and you know what is it. So before that, page number 42. Here I'm going to read the stanza wise, and I request you all to put your attention whenever line I'm going to read. So first I will read the stanza and I explain everything. The very first stanza I'm going to read, and you got to see that. If you do not travel, if you do not read, if you do not listen to the sounds of life, if you do not appreciate yourself, you start dying slowly. What does poet want to tell in that? The very first line, if you do not travel. Why poet wants to travel you? Because whenever you will leave your comfort zone and go outside, travel, visit the places, admire the beauty of nature, and that's why. And this will give you new experience that will make you enrich. It will form your personality, and that's why poet says, if you do not travel. So that's why travel, go outside, visit the places, different places, natural places, admire the beauty, see the beauty of the nature. That will make you enrich, that will give you the sense and meaning of the life. If you do not read, why does poet want us to read? In an average, a person has a 40 to 50 years life, good life. Afterwards there is no life. That 20 years, after 70 years, the life is like a hair. So poet knows the lifespan of the life is so short and limited. So we cannot have all the experience in our life. You cannot go and have an adventure. You cannot do all the things what you imagine in your life. So to live that things, we need to read the books. So poet focuses or asks us to read so many books that we can have different types of experiences in our life, and we can live that moment that writer is telling in particular book. So that's why to form our personality, to make the sense, to be clever, we need to read. In second line, poet talks about the reading all the time, all the different subjects. Third line, if you do not listen to the sounds of life. What does poet mean here? There are so many things in our life. Sometimes life calls us, sometimes life tries to tell us to stop. Sometimes life tells us to push ahead. Sometimes our inner voice, sometimes our mind, sometimes our heart tries to tell us something, and to listen that things, to listen that sensibility, we need to be silent. And poet here talks about to listen the silence. How one can say to listen the silence? If you see poet, close your eyes and try to just listen. There are so many nonsenses are going on inside the brain and heart. Listen it. So that's what poet tries to tell you. And the phrase is used, listen to the sound of life. There are so many meanings. People say, listen the music, listen the music of the nature, listen the voices of the people. One thing I will tell you, to listen. What does one person can have, or what kind of quality can one person have about listening? Recent study says more than 95% of the world people I'm talking about, more than 95%, they don't they just listen to reply. What does it mean? It means they don't listen what is being said. And if as a student you are just listening to reply, then you are trying to finish the possibility of understanding what is being said. So I request you, please don't just listen to reply. Listen what is being said. Then only you can understand the person and have a mutual understanding. So that is one thing. So listen the sound of life. It can relate to the meaning. Music, listen the music. Listen the music of the nature. Listen the inner voice of your heart. Listen outside you. Listen the people, those who are talking to you, but not to reply. Listen to understand them. And that's what is there. So if you do not listen the sound of life, there are so many moves. Life sometimes make you to turn from your right path and make you to go somewhere else. So that is the move. And this is what poet calls listen to the sounds. Then fourth number sentence is there of a stanza. If you do not appreciate yourself, that is really very beautiful. If you do not appreciate yourself, you start dying slowly. There are so many times, there are so many things happen in our life. Suppose, for example, you have done good, you have done very good work. Nobody is there to appreciate you, to say you, wow, good, yeah, shabash, that's very best. Nobody is there. It's okay. You just try yourself and appreciate yourself. Just say good to good work. Suppose sometimes you have helped somebody else. Give the pat by yourself to you and say, yeah, you have done very good today. That's good. So that is what poet says. If you have to appreciate, means if you fail to appreciate yourself, and if you do not travel, if you do not read the books, and if you do not listen what life says, so you start losing the hope of the better future. You start losing an interest in a life, and that is what poet calls you start dying slowly. तर पहिल्या स्टांजामध्ये कवी पॅब्लो नेरुडा यांनी काही गोष्टींचा उल्लेख केलेला आहे की जीवनामध्ये काही गोष्टी असल्या पाहिजेत, कोणत्या गोष्टी असल्या पाहिजेत जेणेकरून तुम्ही जगता, आणि कोणत्या गोष्टी नसल्या तर तुम्ही मरायला सुरुवात करता, म्हणजे जीवनातला जो आनंद आहे तो गमावता. द व्हेरी फर्स्ट पहिल्या स्टेजमध्ये पोएट सांगतात की तुम्ही वाचन करायला पाहिजे वेगवेगळ्या गोष्टींचं, कारण तुमचं जीवन सीमित आहे, लिमिटेड आहे. तर तुम्हाला जीवनातला वेगवेगळा अनुभव यायला पाहिजे, म्हणून तुम्ही पुस्तकातून ते अनुभव घेऊ शकता, तुम्ही शहाणे होता. दुसरा जो त्यांनी एक मार्ग सांगितलेला आहे की तुम्ही वेगवेगळ्या ठिकाणी भेट द्या, निसर्गाच्या वेगवेगळ्या निसर्गाचं जे वेगवेगळं सौंदर्य आहे ते पहा. आणि तिसरी सगळ्यात महत्त्वाची गोष्ट हे सांगतात की यू ॲप्रिशिएट युअरसेल्फ. तुम्ही स्वतःचा आदर करा, सन्मान करा. इफ यू डू नॉट रिस्पेक्ट युअरसेल्फ, how could you expect that someone should do that? तुम्ही जर स्वतःचा सन्मान स्वतःच करत नसता, तुम्हाला स्वतःचा आदर नसेल, तर दुसरे कसे आदर करतील तुमचा, आणि तुम्ही कसं अपेक्षित करू शकता की दुसरे तुमचं करू शकतात. म्हणून लेखक कवी म्हणतात की तुम्ही स्वतःचा आदर करत राहा. आणि जर तुम्ही ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टी नाही केल्या, तुम्ही वाचन केलं नाही, तुम्ही प्रवास केला नाही, तुम्ही जीवनातल्या ज्या गोष्टी आहेत किंवा अंतर्मनाचा आवाज आहे ते ऐकलं नाही आणि तुम्ही स्वतःचा आदर केला नाही, तर तुम्ही जीवनातलं जे रस आहे, जीवन जगण्याचा जे आनंद आहे, हळूहळू गमावत जातात. Means you start dying slowly. So this is all about the first stanza. Then if you come across any difficult word, you can have. Okay, second stanza I'm going to read on page number 42. इथे listen to the sound of life, move of life. किंवा inner the voice, listen the inner voice. त्याचा असं meaning होईल. Then second number stanza I'm going to read. Check it in your textbook, everybody. When you kill your self-esteem, when you do not let others help you, you start dying slowly. There are only 3 sentences in second stanza. And what does it mean? When you kill your self-esteem, means, see, self-esteem, what does it relate? I'll try to describe it in detail. Suppose, for example, I am here. And if I compare myself to the other, that person have a beauty, I don't have, that person have a money, I don't have, I keep complaining on. That person has a color, I don't have that color. That person has an intelligence, that person has a beautiful memory and good brain, I don't have. This is the comparison. What will kill you? It means it is like a killing the self-esteem. Means your own self-esteem, means your own. They have given the meaning self-respect, but in detail your own personality. When you compare yourself to the other and you find what you don't have, that person can have, that time you are trying to kill yourself. You are trying to ruin your personality, because you have something. Every person has the unique and ultimate personality or painting of the God. God has not created one person like or any other same person. Means two persons are not the same. You are not like anybody, and anybody is not like you at all. So everybody has a different personality. But when we compare with the status, when we compare with the color, when we compare with the intelligence, when we compare with the caste, religion, and whatever the nonsense is, that will kill you. That will make your confidence lose, and you will come down, because you try to find out yourself as an inferior person and another are superior. No one is superior than you, and you are not inferior than anybody else. So this is what poet tries to tell you in the first line. When you kill your self-esteem, when you try to compare others and find your drawbacks, so you are killing your self-respect, you are killing your confidence, you are losing your everything in your life, and that impacts rest of the things. When you do not let others help you, here others help you, it does not mean you are falling down and you just fell down and somebody gave you a hand. The meaning is really very deep. Means suppose for most of the time we don't mix into the society, we don't go and have a conversation, and we don't let other people to come closer because they are stranger. Oh, don't go there. And this happens in our life every time. By doing this, we are closing the door of possibility that people will come closer, and we do not mix the society. So that is the what poet wants to tell you. When you do not let others help you, means when you do not let other people to help you, when you do not let other people to come close you, when you do not let other people to have a conversation, and you do not mix in them, and at that time socially you are slowly killing yourself, dying, losing the hope of your future and best life and happy life. So सेकंड स्टांजा मध्ये कवीने सांगितलेलं आहे की जेव्हा तुम्ही आपली तुलना एखाद्या दुसऱ्या व्यक्तीसोबत किंवा दुसऱ्या गोष्टीसोबत करता, आणि त्यावेळेस तुम्ही असं म्हणजे तुमच्या रंगाबद्दल असेल, तुमच्या स्टेटसबद्दल असेल, कोणत्याही गोष्टीबद्दल असेल ते की मूर्खपणा आहे, पण आपण करत असतो आणि आपण आपल्याकडे काय नाहीये आणि समोरच्याकडे काय आहे ह्या गोष्टींचा ताळमेळ बसवत असतो. त्यावेळेस आपण स्वतःचा आत्मविश्वास गमावत असतो, त्याला सेल्फ स्टीम असं नाव दिलेलं आहे आणि आपण स्वतःला मारत असतो. म्हणजे आपल्याकडे जे आहे त्याची प्रशंसा न करता आपल्याकडे जे नाही त्याची आपण कंप्लेन करत असतो आणि दॅट टाइम वी आर ट्राइंग टू किल आवर कॉन्फिडन्स, वी आर ट्राइंग टू किल आवर सेल्फ स्टीम. आपण स्वतःचा आत्मविश्वास आणि स्वतःबद्दलचा आदर सन्मान गमावत असतो. ज्यावेळेस आपण दुसऱ्यांना मदत करू देत नाही आपल्याला, वी आर सोशल ॲनिमल, राईट? Aren't we? Okay, so we are living in society. We are surrounded by the people, our friends, family, relatives, and other unknown people. Sometimes, most of the time, all the time, we need help. We should ask it. And if we are living surrounding the people, or we are social animal, aren't we? So we need to have a relation with each other, a healthy relation as a human being can have. आणि जर आपण असं करत नसते, म्हणजे आपण लोकांना आपल्याला मदत करू देत नसतो किंवा आपल्याजवळ आपण त्यांच्याशी एक रिलेशन बॉन्ड करू शकत नसू, तर सोशली किंवा सामाजिकरित्या आपण मरत चाललो आहोत. म्हणजे वी आर लुझिंग सोशली, अकॉर्डिंग टू सोशल कस्टम, वी आर लुझिंग द पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ लाईफ. स्टँडर्ड नंबर 3, इथे सेल्फ स्टीम जो वर्ड आलेला आहे तो बहुतेक म्हणजे खूप अर्थानं वापरलेला आहे. Comparing by status to the other, त्याला असं किल युअर सेल्फ स्टीम असं म्हणता येईल. सेल्फ स्टीम हा जनरली सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट साठीही वापरला जातो. नंबर थर्ड नंबर स्टँजा. थर्ड नंबर स्टँजा वी हॅव 2 words. If you come across and find it difficult, so please you can have look on it. So I'm going to read third number stanza, everybody. If you become a slave of your habit, walking every day on the same path, if you do not change your routine, if you do not wear different colors, if you do not speak to those who don't know, you start dying slowly. What does it mean? The very first line, likewise we will go. If you become a slave of your habits. Habits, poet is talking about bad habits. He does not mention they are bad, but he just mentions habit. Actually, Pablo Neruda is a Nobel Prize winner poet. He has won Nobel Prize. He is one of the best ever aesthetic or mystic poets. So, coming to the third stanza, the very first line, if you become a slave of your habit. Poet is talking about the bad habits. It's very very easy to have a bad habits in our life and so much difficult to leave them. At the same time, on the contrary, on the other side of the life, if it's little bit difficult to have a good habits and it's really very hard to leave them. So poet is talking about if once we have a bad habits, any kind of a habit we can say, spending a time, valuable time of the life, have an addictions or talking nonsenses about people. 90% people talks nonsenses about third person. When two people come and they talk with each other, they will never talk about themselves. They will talk about third person who is of sense. And this is the nonsense which goes on. This is also one of the bad habits. So poet is talking about, he did not mention any bad habit, but he is talking about the bad habits, whatever we have. So you can consider what kind of bad habits you have. And once, if we have that bad habits, we become slave. Means we are habitual. We cannot digest our food without these things. Most of the people, they have different type of bad habits. They will always talk bad about the other person. And if they don't do that, they will not digest their food. And problems are being created in life by doing this. It's a nonsense. It's like a bullshit in life, seriously. When you kill your self-esteem, third number stanza, if you become slave of your bad habits, means if you are habitual of your bad habits and you do not change it, so you will try to lose the interest of life every day. Walking every day on the same path, Here same part is used, I think, for attitude, inner attitude of the personality. Most of the people, they have their routine life. They do the same thing throughout the year, same thing on same timing. And what happens if you have routine life? You are like a robot, like a machine, monotonous life. Just switch on the button, you run, switch off the button, you sleep. Getting up early in the morning on a particular timing, do the same thing, go to the job, work hard, come come back at home, have same food, sleep, and again tomorrow the same procedure or same routine. So poet says if you have the same thing, or if you are doing the same mistakes, if you are doing the same work, if you are doing the same nonsense in your life, you start doing or you start dying slowly. Then, or if you do not change your routine, most see so many times what happens. Sometimes, suppose for example, a person who is working in his own field. We will take an example. For an example, a person is a doctor or practicing more than 20 years, but inside him he has something different, and he decided, I just want to leave that practice and will go somewhere else. Or he is keen of action, acting, or music, or somewhere else. There are so many examples in our country. One of the music composer, or so many people, I think. Um, Mahadev, yes, Mahadev is also one of them, who was an engineer and then afterwards he turned into Chara Hawa India, one of the serials, Sabre. He was a medical practitioner, but whenever he realized after doing, I think he had spent so many years in it, but he realized that this field is not for him, and he left the routine life, whatever he was doing as a medical practitioner, and he came into the comedy and one of the most famous personalities among India. So, if you do not change your routine, if you do not have different paths or challenges, ups and downs in life, if you do not wear different colors here emotions, different colors you did not mention about the clothes. It's okay if you wear because that also will help or effect on your mentality. But here poet talks about the emotions, different colors, different emotions. If you do not have happiness, sad, if you have, imagine a person has only happiness throughout the whole life. The life will be utterly bored. It would be boredom, ultimate boredom. The person will commit suicide. We should have challenges. We should have sometimes happiness, sometimes sadness, sometimes up, sometimes down. So different types of emotions are mentioned here. If you do not have, if you do not wear different colors, if you do not have different type of emotions and shades of life, so different colors, different emotions. Same part, attitude, inner attitude, habits, bad habits. So if you do not wear different colors, or you do not speak to those you don't know, you start dying slowly. There are so many, incredible people outside. If you and it can be possible, it is bound that you don't know that people, you have no relations. But if you do not talk them, you always talk the friends, you always talk the people, those who know you or you know them, you always talk the family and relatives. That's it, your circle. Poet says, come out of that circle and meet the people, those who don't know you or you don't know them, and talk to them. They are so incredible. It is said that there is one watchword: every new person comes in your life, or every new person whom you meet introduces you something new. That person will introduce you something new in your life. That person will never care what will you feel. He will correct you. She will correct you. That's why people, poet says, try to talk to the people, those who are unknown for you, who are stranger, who are unfamiliar. That will form your personality. They will point out your mistakes. If I am your friend or you are my friend, we each other or together we will not try to find out the mistakes, because as a friend we cannot do that. We will not hurt our friend, but as a stranger that person will not. And pointing out the mistake is the best ever thing of the life, because that person is making you correct. Yeah, this is not wrong, this is not right, this is wrong, you correct yourself, go ahead. That's what. And that is the impact, that is the good or positive impact of the life. Meeting the people, it's not like just making somebody stop on a road and say, hey, you stop here, I want to talk to you. That person will slap you. So don't do that. That is not the meaning. It means whenever you come across your in your way of journey, a journey of the life or way of life, so new people will come. And if you avoid them, if you don't let them come and you don't have a conversation with them, so then you start losing the very beautiful chance of the life for the better future. तर थर्ड स्टँजामध्ये कवी आपल्या वाईट सवयीबद्दल सांगतात की आपल्या जीवनामध्ये अनेक वाईट सवयी असतात आणि त्याची आपण गुलाम होत राहतो हळूहळू. मग वाईट सवय असे, आपण वाईट सवय म्हटलं की आपल्याला फक्त ते दारूला किंवा एखादा माणूस जो गुटखा खात असेल असंच लक्षात येतं. वाईट सवय हजारो प्रकारचे असतात. त्याच्यामध्ये वेळ वाया घालवणे ही सुद्धा वाईट सवय आहे. एखाद्याबद्दल वाईट बोलणे ही सुद्धा वाईट सवय आहे. एखादं काम पुढे पुढे नेत जाणे किंवा ते उद्या आणि उद्यावर ढकलत जाणे ही सुद्धा खूप वाईट सवय आहे. अशा अनेक वाईट सवयी आहेत. तर कवी अशा वाईट सवयी बद्दल बोलतो आणि आपण हळूहळू तो सांगतो की हळूहळू आपण अशी गुलाम बनत जातो. म्हणून आपण अशा वाईट सवयी सोडून द्यायला पाहिजे जर आपल्याला जगायचं असेल. आणि आपण जर सोडून दिलं नाही तर आपण मरत जाऊ. आणि आपण दैनंदिन जीवनामध्ये सारख्या गोष्टी करत असतो. सेम मिस्टेक्स अगेन नाही, सेम पाथ, त्याच गोष्टी करत असतो, त्याच मार्गाने करत असतो, त्याच पद्धतीने करत असतो. आणि त्यामुळे आपल्या जीवनामध्ये आपण काय करतो की आपल्या एका शेल आपण ठरवून दिलेलं असतं, आपला एक सिक्युअर सर्कल असतं, त्या सर्कलमध्येच आपण असतो आणि तिथेच त्या सगळ्या गोष्टी करत असतो. म्हणून पोएट इज ट्राइंग टू से यू कम आउट ऑफ युअर कम्फर्ट झोन अँड लेट रिव्हील युअर पर्सनॅलिटी अँड युअर टॅलेंट. वी नीड टू चॅलेंज आवर प्रॉब्लेम्स. म्हणून आपण जीवनामध्ये तसा दृष्टिकोन ठेवायला पाहिजे की आपल्याला जीवनामध्ये नेहमी नवीन नवीन गोष्टी, नवीन नवीन चॅलेंज भेटले पाहिजे. स्वामी विवेकानंद म्हणायचे की इफ यू डू नॉट कम अक्रॉस अ सिंगल प्रॉब्लेम इन अ डे, एका दिवसात जर तुम्ही एकही अडचण फेस केली नाही, एकाही अडचणीला तोंड दिलं नाही, यू आर वॉकिंग ऑन अ रॉंग वे. म्हणजे तुम्ही जीवन चुकीच्या पद्धतीने जगता, असं स्वामी विवेकानंद म्हणायचे. पण जीवनामध्ये प्रत्येक दिवशी कमीत कमी एक तरी अडचण आपल्यासमोर आलीच पाहिजे. म्हणजे आपण आपल्यामध्ये जे टॅलेंट आहे ते त्याला पुढे म्हणजे समोर काढू शकतो. सो कवी तिसऱ्या स्टँजामध्ये सांगतात की तुम्ही दैनंदिन जीवन एकाच मार्गाने जगू नका. कम्फर्ट झोनमध्ये म्हणजेच तुमच्या सगळ्या त्या कम्फर्ट झोनमधून बाहेर या आणि एक वेगळा ॲटिट्यूड क्रिएट करा. इफ यू डू नॉट चेंज युअर रुटीन, जर तुम्ही तुमचं मार्ग बदलत नसाल, तुम्ही तुमच्या जीवनातल्या गोष्टी ज्या तुम्ही लहानपणापासून करत आला आहात त्याच करत आहात, जर तुम्ही बदलत नसताल आणि तुम्ही जर तुमच्या जीवनामध्ये वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारच्या भावना नसतील, तुम्ही दयाळू असायला पाहिजे, तुम्ही कधी कधी थोडं कठोर असायला पाहिजे, तुम्ही प्रेमळ असायला पाहिजे, तुमच्या जीवनामध्ये काही गोष्टी, काही अडचणी असल्या पाहिजे, आनंद असला पाहिजे, दुःख असलं पाहिजे. जर तुम्ही हे तुमच्या जीवनात नसेल तर तुम्ही प्रत्येक दिवशी तुमचं मरण जवळ येत आहे असं कवीला सांगायचं आहे. इफ यू डू नॉट स्पीक टू दोज हू डोंट नो. आणि शेवटच्या लाईनमध्ये कवी सांगतात की जर तुम्ही अनोळखी माणसासोबत तुम्ही बोलत नसाल आणि त्याच्याशी तुमचं वागणं बोलणं नाही तर तुम्ही जीवनात काही शिकला नाही आणि त्याच्यामुळे तुम्ही जीवनातला आनंद जो आहे गमावत आहात असं त्याचं म्हणणं आहे. सो दिस इज